this year. I had a longer list than I thought I would. I'm going to be really down on some teams that I think people are going to be high on. Also, our top 5 disappointments from the college football season this year. I think our number 1s and number 2 will probably be locked in sync.
Well, my number 1 is locked in and has been for a while.
Yeah.
Same. Did Dan do this list right? Probably not.
Also, Nebraska sports betting has hit an all-time high. What does it mean for the future of sports betting in this state? We'll debate at 7:30. You can debate with anything we're talking about tonight, 402-951-1620. Get a hold of us at After Hours 1620 on Twitter or punch in for the night shift on YouTube tonight. We are brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to keep up to date on all the championship action happening on Bellevue's campus today.
One thing before we get going.
Oh, it's soapbox time, baby.
One thing before we get going. 2 years.
6 months. 47 days.
It's been 2 years that I have been officially on this show.
Thanks for bearing the end of the show for me. I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, happy anniversary. Sweetheart.
Yeah, happy anniversary to you too.
It's almost Valentine's Day, so we'll have to celebrate. No, but thank you for being a part of the show, man. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast. Dan, we're heading into year number 3, right?
Yeah, 3.5. I think we passed up 3.
Or have we?
A little while ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. Me and Dan are just an old married couple at this point. We're like 3. We're like basically double the time we spent together away from common law marriage.
Indeed, we are. I'm yelling at you to stop hogging the covers at this point.
Yes, we are. We've gotten to that point. I just mentioned it's soapbox time. We're gonna open this show up having a positive conversation about Nebraska basketball, and we're gonna get to that here in a minute. But I got a question.
Things happen.
Anybody know what the hell's going on? Anybody? Amari Bailey,
I have an idea,
is going to return to college basketball. He's filed a waiver to get eligibility to come back to college basketball.
When you sent this afternoon for us to peruse,
you start fact checking it to see if it was true.
I
wondered
what I did. If you were getting hoodwinked on Twitter again.
I thought I was. I did. Listen, I researched it before I sent it to you guys. And for anybody that is out there wondering who Amari Bailey is, you may not remember. Maybe you're not a college basketball fan. He played at UCLA. He then went on to the NBA and was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets and played 10 National Basketball Associated sanctioned games.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he's coming back in. Now, we kind of talked about this.
He's going to try.
Anybody doubting he's going to get eligibility reinstated?
This is an extremely cynical take. I think that he's going to get waived and approved by the NCAA on purpose.
Oh, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Because what does the NCAA actually want?
They want sanctions. They want rules.
They want the congressional governing bodies of this country to give them an exemption from antitrust law so that they can go back to telling players you can't get paid. You can't get paid. They want exemption from antitrust to go back to the old rules. They want protections from lawsuits to say, we get to set the rules. We get to tell you what you can do. We get to tell you, more importantly, what you can't do.
See, I think that's what they want. I don't think they want to put the toothpaste back in the tube. I don't think the NCAA doesn't want to pay players. I think they've always been fine with that. I just think they were seeing the forest through the trees and saying, okay, well, if we open up this box, this is what you're getting with it. And it feels like they're saying, hey, I told you so. And by the way, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. We're going to just let we're going to do the old okie doke and let everybody on through.
The Amari Bailey thing is not about whether or not you can get paid. And I don't think that the NCAA has always wanted players to be able to get paid. I do not think that's true.
No, okay. Not always, but since it became rational and there was cause to do so. Because I think it's important to point out, and I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't want to hear this, but I do think it is fair to say for a lengthy time in college sports, and I'm talking like around World War II time, like not recently, but think about like the value that a scholarship was, like dollar. I'm talking a dollar value of what a scholarship was.
Yeah.
And what it equated to from what the revenue that sport was bringing into the school. I think there was a time
the ratios were more in line.
Exactly. And then like 1990 happened and that wasn't a thing
and every
anymore.
College football game was on TV.
Exactly.
Conferences were getting huge sums of money to
and
broadcast their games.
And NBC said, we'd like all those Notre Dame eyes. And it changed the game forever, right? So I do believe that there is a time frame in which the scholarship that was offered, the dollar value of the scholarship offer to an athlete was worth the amount in which they would have gotten financially paid.
It was 1-to-1 translation.
If not, maybe even a little bit heavier on the scholarship side.
What they were providing was basically equivalent to what they were getting.
And then college athletics became a $1 billion with a B business.
And more.
And I think that around that time frame, probably about the advent of the internet, is when that stopped being a 1-to-1 comparison. So when I say I think the NCAA has always wanted to pay players, I'm talking like since the NIL discussion became a real thing. I think at first they kind of said no, and they probably understood it was only a matter of time before it became a yes because the way that the growth was happening. But I think in the back of their mind they knew, okay, well once we open up this Pandora's box, what's the next one? And then the transfer portal thing it started happening, and now the discussion is about pro players coming back to college athletics. So in hindsight, we probably should have seen it coming, but we were just all rationally thinking because this is stupid and doesn't make sense that it wouldn't happen. Now the NCAA is going, okay, nobody wants to help us. We're out here drowning. We're losing every single lawsuit that is coming our way, and nobody cares. And it's just on us who's supposed to be the governing body, but nobody wants to play by the rules. And as soon as we try to enforce them, we lose our teeth and get neutered when we walk in the door.
Yeah.
Okay. There are no rules then. Good luck, everybody.
So to me, what the NCAA could do is set the eligibility rules and say that this is a membership group and you have to meet certain criteria to be a member, because there's nowhere in America that, you don't have clubs, right? You have private membership clubs.
Yeah.
There's golf clubs. There's social clubs. There's all sorts of things. There's Costco. There's Sam's Club, or you can't just walk in there and start buying things because you have to be a
You're
member.
Not a card-carrying member.
Right. You need to be a member. The NCAA could absolutely draft membership legislation for their organization that would prevent people who they deem ineligible for membership from playing collegiate sports. I think that they could do that. That's not the issue, though. They don't want to do that because what they really want is a blanket law approved and made by the government at large to tell them nobody can sue you anymore. That's what they're after. So all of these things with college basketball, they're allowing it to happen on purpose. That's my opinion, to make you mad, to make you upset, and to get you to go and talk to your government representative and tell them how mad you are that these guys are coming back from the pros and playing college basketball and ruining the game. That's what they want.
Agreed.
That's the end game. That's the goal.
See, I don't think it's more about money, but more about, okay, well, if you want us to continue to be the governing body of college athletics, which we'd love to do because we get paid a ton of money to do it, then we need to have some semblance of trust that we're going to be able to enforce said rules. I think they're perfectly fine with players getting paid. And I think they'd like to structure some things more about NIL and probably inflict contracts and buyouts and things of that nature. But they're just like, well, if we're going to do this and it's going to cost us money in the long run, what business in the world would do that? And I know nobody wants to hear this, but the NCAA is a business. And I don't think they mind their players getting paid at this point because the money has reached that level where it makes sense. Now, would they like to keep that money and make more? Sure, but I think they've realized that boat has definitely sailed. Now,
but the NCAA's members, do you think honestly that if all of a sudden they told, all these colleges that actually now we have these new antitrust protections, you don't have to revenue share anymore if you don't want to. You don't have to allow them to get NIL money if you don't want to. Do you think that they would be like, all right, fine, we won't then?
No, I don't think one school would do that.
No,
you know why? Oof. But do you know why? Because there's that one school that has the money that go, no, we're good. We'll keep paying everybody. Guess where the best players are going to go?
Sure. But then, if they get those blanket antitrust protections that they're after, the NCAA could then sanction that school for doing that, for paying the players.
Well, no, because then it would It wouldn't be you don't have to. It'd be you can't.
Sure.
Those are two very different conversations. If they
what
left,
I'm saying
I'm telling you
is-
right now, if they left it open-ended and said you don't have to pay these players, but you can, every single school would pay players. You know why?
Okay.
Because every single
I get it.
single place is trying to keep
Yeah.
up with the Ohio States and the Georgias and the USCs of the world that are paying the most money out of pocket, even when these schools don't have the money.
But we'll have to talk to Bob about this, but blanket antitrust protection would allow the NCAA to set rules against players getting paid
I think
because you couldn't sue them.
I think it would kill the sports.
Like this, to me, the way I'm looking at it, this is what they want. They want to create an environment of outrage so that people will petition the government to allow them to set the rules the way they want again. And
I think it's necessary. I think it's.
You think it's unnecessary?
I think it is a necessary.
Oh no way! You cannot give the NCAA that blanket antitrust protection. That's not fair to anyone.
No. I think it's a necessary that they need to be able to enforce rules.
Sure,
That's what I'm saying.
I think, and I still think that they could if they had the will. They could make membership rules, not eligibility rules. Membership, like you have to. We're creating an organization in the NCAA. You have to be a member of this organization to be allowed to play college sports.
Is that not essentially what they have in place now?
No, they just have eligibility rules.
Right. But what's the difference? If they make everybody members, how does that change anything? You have to be a member of the NCAA to play NCAA sanctioned sports.
I think it's a matter of terminology because I don't think you have to be a member.
I think you have to opt in. What we're talking about is opting into an agreement. Okay, if you're going to play sports under this umbrella, you got to follow these rules. And that's why they need a blanket of antitrust, what would we call
Protection.
not even protection, but like anonymity. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Immunity.
Yeah. So just being in its own functioning body, and I hate to make this comparison, almost like a church and state type thing, where it's, okay, you're doing this because you're giving the ability to further children's education, which, call what you want, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, but they are absolutely doing that. That's where you fall into this rule, and that's where you're allowed to enforce your own rules, because to come to the college sports and to get paid to be here and collect money off your NIL to play this sport, you have to opt into the rest of the rules. Like you have to if you transfer for a year, you have to sit out for one season. Or if you do go to a school and they offer to pay you $4 million, if you leave to go to another school to do the exact same thing on the other coast, you now have to pay them back X amount of dollars because you signed a contract as an adult, which they have zero ability to do right now.
Yeah, I feel like there's a way, like there's something. I feel like there's something the NCAA could be doing right now to stop this. They could put in place some sort of process, some sort of rule, some sort of requirement that would stop players who have left college and gone to play professional sports coming back to play college sports again. I feel like there's a way they could do it. They're just not doing it because they want the government to step in and protect.
But 100%, and I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but it kind of feels like you're trying to paint them as the bad guy in the scenario. Is that fair to say?
They've always been the bad guy, Jimmy.
And I agree with that sentiment. But there's also a little bit of good in the stuff that they did. Like they were trying to enforce rules. They were trying. Like think about how much different it was when we weren't paying players. And when you did have to sit out a year after transferring, and there was a rule that once you contacted an agent and declared with that agent, you were no longer allowed to, like, sometimes there's a necessary to the evil, right? Like, I agree. There's probably 4 good things to 10 bad things they did. I agree with that sentiment.
Sure.
But you've also taken away the ability, like, to structure rules. And this is what happens when you have absolutely.
See, I don't totally agree with that. I think that they could structure rules. I think they're not doing it for this purpose. I think
because they're losing every time they try to. Can they? Sure. Do they have any ability to make a single entity underneath their umbrella follow them? No. And I think it's important to go back to why this all happened in the first place. We're in this. I don't want to say we're in this situation because I think it's a good situation. I think it's fantastic that the players are getting paid. I think it's fantastic that players now have the ability to leave as soon as a coach does as well. But the reason we're in the world of college athletics we are now is because the Supreme Court dubbed it illegal to not pay these players for the revenue that they're bringing into their school. The term student athlete was illegal. So with that being said, they now need to have the Supreme Court, who decided this and told them they needed to change their structure, come in and implement the changes that allow them to enforce rules that are for the good. Now, all of them may not be. And I think one of those things that doesn't need to change is the ability to collect money off your name, image, and likeness, because there's no other walk of life where that is illegal. But also enforce, hey, you're also taking away eligibility and opportunities from kids after you if you decide to go play 9 years of pro basketball and then come back to college.
The question I still have is, how are other organizations allowed to limit their membership and they don't get sued into oblivion?
Because they're not paying them billions of dollars. They're not going to pay billions of dollars.
It shouldn't matter how much the money is.
It shouldn't. You're right. It shouldn't.
But there are organizations out there who can say, you can be a member, you can be a member, you can't be a member, right? You can shop here, you can shop here, you can't shop here because you're not a member.
What I think
anybody can be a member, but you got to be a member. You have to follow the rules of membership.
See, that's the important
and
part.
And that means you're not allowed to share your membership card with someone else.
See, but I can't go back and sue Costco and win because the Supreme Court didn't make it unanimously illegal for me to do that.
Yeah, I don't think that the Supreme Court's decision made it illegal for them to enforce eligibility rules. I don't think that's what happened.
It made it illegal for them to not pay players.
No, it made it illegal for them to disallow players making money.
Which then opened up the Pandora's box of, okay, well, what else is illegal for you to do? Why can't I come back and go to college for the 11th year and get paid to do it? Because I could sue you because you're now costing me money, and in my inability to garner wages out of this situation, which is what when we talked about antitrust is the first thing that comes up.
Sure.
Why can you sue somebody? Because you're costing me money or you're causing me harm. And that's the argument now.
Yeah.
It's been deemed it's illegal for you not to let me make money. So now that I'm 46 years old, a grandfather, I would like my 15th year of eligibility, please.
I understand what you're saying, and I see how that works. I still there's got to be a way that the NCAA could figure. Like, they have,
I think
dozens of lawyers in their employ.
I think the answer
they have got to be able to figure out a way to make membership rules that are enforceable and don't violate antitrust. There has to be a way.
I think the answer to your question is they got it so wrong
for so
long. And they have such a large black eye from not paying players and the Reggie Bush situation and the Golden Pants 5 and fill in the blank
and
person,
uneven punishments.
Yeah, and letting guys transfer sometimes, not letting other guys,
forcing some teams to change their mascots and not others,
giving some teams the death penalty for things that were deemed illegal by the Supreme Court of this country. That when they enforce the rules, they want to have it so uniform to be able to say, no, this is the lay of the land and these are the laws, or no, you're out, that they can't do anything until they get that ability to do so.
Yeah.
Let me phrase it better this way. That's what they should be doing. Whether that's the actual case or not, that's the, quote, right thing. And if I'm the NCAA, and listen, there's a lot of people in that room, a lot smarter than me, and I'm not trying to sound like the smartest guy in the room. That's what I would try to be doing. Listen, it's 4 years with a red shirt. We can have the junior college discussion if you really want to, but if you leave and you go sign a contract in the G League, the NBA, play Major League Soccer, or you want to go ride a horse professionally, whatever it is, you're done. That's the end of your eligibility.
Yeah. It feels right now like a business that got broken into and some things got stolen. And rather than getting a new security system, they've just opened the back door and said, hello, criminals, come on in. We'll wait for the cops to do something about this.
Let's take that same scenario. And I'm not trying to over-exaggerate everything. But let's say you're that business owner and you had people kick in the front door and they stole all the jewelry out from underneath your counter. And then you went to go tell them they can't do that. And then the U.S. government said, actually, they could sue you for breaking in and robbing you. And now you have to pay those fines.
Yeah, I don't know.
What would you do? I don't know. I'd probably kick the back door open too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to not think that the NCAA is doing some of this on purpose.
Listen, and I also feel really gross defending the NCAA right now. I want to point that out. Like, I don't feel great about that, but you can talk me into the room where what they're doing is understandable.
Yeah.
Hey, if you missed the opening segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Aloe Fiber. 2 years ago, I made the switch to Aloe. Why did I do it? Listen, we had a blue circle showing up in our TV in our bedroom nightly. Every time we tried streaming our favorite shows or watching our favorite television programs, our TV buffered. Why? Dan, why did that happen? It's because we had bad internet. We got out of the
Ooh.
Stone Age. We switched to Allo Fiber. Ever since then, we've had an all fiber gig network right up to our house. We're not sharing our internet with our neighbors or even the other people in our house. We got 3 little ones that try stealing that from us with their tablets. You don't have to worry about that with Allo Fiber. Head over to allofiber.com/Husker Radio and get out of the Stone Age tonight. Nebraska has added a flag football program. What does that mean for the rest of the sports on campus in Lincoln? We debate 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here once again for the fine folks at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. New year, new you, new sale. Yes, that's right. There's a sale going on right now at Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Get yourself in there, 78th and Dodge. Get 20 to 50% off all the fall items. That includes suits, sport coats, sweaters, sport shirts. And look, there's still time to wear that fall gear. It's still cold out there. Your long sleeve shirts, they work just as well in the fall as they do in the winter. Get yourself some great deals on some great gear at Jerry Ryan. They've got the Husker gear, they've got the Creighton gear, and they've got the Horn Legend polos and hoodies. One of your favorite brands, Horn Legend, right there for you to go in, try on, feel, touch, take home with you, knowing that you got the right size and the right style. You're going to love it. Wedding season's just around the corner. Go in and buy your suit. Don't rent it. It's about the same price, and you can keep it forever. Check out Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years.
Your Omaha area forecast from KETV Newswatch 7.
Mostly clear and bitterly cold tonight. Lighter winds, a low down to 2 below zero. A sunny, frigid start Saturday, then clouds on the increase and a high of 23. Then watching a chance of light snow Saturday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit reconpestservices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at PyramidRoof.com.
Never settle for less. Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$6:27 on the Friday before the Royal Rumble on 1620 The Zone.
Is that what it is?
Bellevue University. Head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. You can become a Bruin as early as this fall. No classes on Fridays. Yep. You will not be an entrant into the 30-man over-the-top battle royal on Sunday, but you have the ideal college experience on Bellevue's campus where there's live sports.
Somebody once told me I look like Crash Holly.
I could see it. I definitely. That's definitely not a compliment. I don't know if you know that.
No, I know.
We're not going to talk about the Royal Rumble in this segment. I'm sure it may come up later in the show, as it should, because it's the best 2 hours in professional wrestling.
The Royal Bumble.
It is in Saudi Arabia this year. We can talk about that later if we want to. Anyway, back to more important topics.
We will. I promise.
Like women's flag football being on the campus of Nebraska University as University of Nebraska as a sanctioned sport. Yep. Troy Danon announced earlier this week and mentioned that it was a banner day for Nebraska athletics and for women's sports as a whole. He said, in a time of uncertainty and change in college athletics, creating new participation and opportunities continue in Nebraska's rich history of elevating women's athletics, which, listen, I mean, the Nebraska volleyball program gets a ton of attention, as it should. They're one of the best in the country, if not the premier program in the country.
There
I was leaving room for debate if anybody wanted to have it. I mean, I'd listen. You're wrong, but it's fine. But there's going to be so much about, and this is what happens in Nebraska, so much of the athletic director and the, quote, success of the athletic department is based on what happens 8 Saturdays out of the year inside of the biggest stadium on that campus.
Yep.
But I think there's something to be said about what not only Trev Alberts, I know nobody wants to give him his flowers these days, but his office and what Troy Danon has been able to do for women's sports specifically on that campus, that I think they absolutely deserve a round of applause. And I think it's even more important to give the flowers to the females that have taken that baton and done nothing but absolutely sprint to the other end with it at full speed.
Yeah.
I would be really, really surprised if we aren't talking about this program being a very high level outputting program in the very near future.
Yeah. So they're in at the ground floor of what is the start of, I think, wider adoption of this women's flag football thing, right? And so when you're one of the early adopters, you have a chance to sort of
get the bugs up.
Yeah, you're off to a head start.
Sure.
In for lack of a better term, right? You're out first. You're out ahead of everyone. And I think it's cool. I think it's a cool thing that we're doing. I do have some questions though. Why does it have to be flag football?
Sure. I think I don't know the answer to that, but again, going back to our conversation about the NCAA, I'm just trying to think of the best possible reasons why,
sure.
Right? There's a ton of injuries, and we've talked about, listen, I think a lot of it, and I think if this conversation was being had about men's football starting for the first time, I kind of wonder if it wouldn't be a conversation to be had just because of the information we now have about CTE and concussions and how much a full contact sport can cause injuries. And if it's all about money, which it usually is, the amount of money you have to pay trainers and help doctors' fees for injuries and things like that. I'm really surprised how many schools still have rugby as sanctioned clubs on their campus because of the injuries that come along with that sport. Now, that
Less
happens
than football.
That happens because the school's not liable for those injuries.
It's a club
sport, right?
Yeah.
But if they're going to sanction this, I'm actually not that surprised.
Fewer head injuries in rugby than there are in American football, by the way.
Might be fewer reported injuries.
So the other question that I have is about the fan interest in this sport. Now, I think that there will be certain pockets of the country, I think Nebraska is one of them, where, you know, if you tell a bunch of Nebraskans to show up to the Devaney Center because the Nebraska chess team needs their support, they're probably going to show up at least once.
Yeah.
And they're going to pack that house.
Might sell that baby out.
Right? So I think that probably
Bishop 8.
at least for a while, maybe continuously, the women's flag football team in Nebraska is probably going to get decent support. Now, we don't know where they're going to play. We don't know what the venue is going to be. I don't think any of that's been fully ironed out yet. Right? I haven't heard about them having a facility or anything like that. But I imagine that off the top, they're going to get a decent level of support.
I got an interesting question when you're done here.
The question I have is, like, what is the broadcast capability for this sport? We can't get Americans to watch semi-professional football in this country.
Sure.
To keep it viable for longer than a couple of years. We can't get anybody to watch, you know, a minor league soccer system to keep that. And we're talking about professional now, like not even college.
Collegiate, yeah.
Right. So what is the attention level on this going to be from a viability standpoint for a bunch of schools who are already having to spend up to $20 million of their athletic revenue to keep their athletes on campus? Right. So this to me sounds like another expense and not something that's going to add to the pool. So my question is, why now? Why are schools starting to add this now when it looks like the smart move is to contract a bunch of sports?
I want to take a step back to what you just said a minute ago about the venue. I mean, there's a football venue on campus.
Yeah, there sure is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're going to be given that, right?
Should they? Do you think they're going to get 85,000 people for women's
flag
football?
Do they need to? It's going to be there anyway. I mean, it's
know.
not like the stadium is just gone. Might as well get some revenue out of it. I mean, how many Scotty McCreery concerts can you really do? I don't really need the answer to that question.
Zero is the answer to that
Yeah,
question.
that'd be the correct answer. Unfortunately, it's already at 1.
I mean, so if they're playing in Memorial Stadium,
can I give you the answer that I don't think anybody wants to the last portion of your question about why now? And I know people are sick of hearing this, but you can't tell me that they didn't see that one athlete that played college basketball at Iowa City that went to the pros and garnered a ton of attention and brought it with her and going, how do we get that? There's this fever pitch of women's sports right now because of the Caitlin Clark effect, and it's not only her. I don't want to make it sound like it is, but if you feel like you've peaked or you can't scale quickly and make more money with college football, it's just going to be a linear thing. We're just going to go up and up and up and up and up because guess what? It is, but that's going to be at a slower pace because you've already hit the peak of the mountain of that, and you want to generate more eyes, and you have a product. You're going, what if we could do this with women's sports and then capitalize
who's
on
clamoring for flag football though? I
mean, it's in the Olympics now.
Right. And I'll be very interested to see what the viewership numbers for it are.
I am too, by the way.
So to kind of go back to the question that you asked, I don't really think anyone specifically is clamoring for flag football. It's not like the bells are tolling and that's, you know, the town crier is running out saying, we need flag football. We need flag football. From a facility standpoint, whatever.
What century did you grow up in?
16th.
The town crier. Go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm from Omaha. It's a big city.
Sorry, Dan. You do live here.
We didn't have one guy on the street selling newspapers going extra, extra, read all about it.
Yeah, we did too in the 40s. Like, what are you talking about?
They're putting in they're getting a new bulldozer
All right.
at the mine today.
Make your point.
So my point is I think of all of the sports that you could bring into a university, this is probably the one with the lowest level of entry for the university as far as spend goes, because yes, you could put them in Memorial Stadium. That is a possibility. Also, a soccer field is just about the same size as a football field. John, you can fact check that one because I don't know
It's
exactly
not.
how big.
It's not. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Look at the lines. on
Soccer
the,
field's much wider.
Look at the lines on the field. You can tell. Goes outside of the white lines.
I haven't seen a combo one in a hot minute, so
Okay.
that's on me.
Go to a high school.
No,
Okay. Fair enough.
not unless I have to set
All
up a remote for the after hours lounge. But
back to the
it's
point
low.
at hand.
It's a low monetary entry because you have the facilities, and in general, the athletes
Yeah.
don't need all of the special
Sure.
treatment that you would
I
have to give
understand.
to every other sporting program.
Yes, Dan, but it's slicing the pie again.
But it's barely slicing the pie.
But it's still slicing, barely slicing. It's still taking. You have to. I think the point John's trying to make by saying that is you have to take that money from somewhere and delegate it elsewhere.
Yes.
Without doing this, that money stays in that slice. So that's to your question about why is because at this point in history is the first time you could see a linear movement in the money side of women's sports on a larger scale because of the success that women's basketball has had over the last 4 seasons. I think that is the easiest answer to your why. The other thing is, and maybe this is just a me thing, is we also have the largest generation of fathers that only have daughters. By the way, I got 3 of them. And the fact that this is happening, I find really cool. And I sure as hell tell you that there's other girl dads out there that probably love this stuff as well.
Hey, that is not what I'm talking about. I am not trying to run it down from a gender perspective.
Women.
I'm the dad of a son. I don't care about women's sport. No, he didn't say that. Don't put that on the internet.
Who doesn't want to play football at all, by the way. It's more of it's not the
What's the reasoning?
the
behind it?
personal question.
Yeah.
It is the systemic question.
Well, I think it's important that that's the question asked about anything.
Sure.
This just happens to be about women's flag footballs. Why are they doing this now?
Yeah, and it's, to me, it looks like a cost rather than a benefit. And look, you can look at that a number of ways. To a bunch of girls who are going to get to play college flag football, it's a massive benefit.
Absolutely.
To the organization and to the long-term health of the athletic department, I don't know if that's true.
Sure. I wonder how much of this is the discussion we've been having about antitrust and title and NIL since the beginning has been the Title IX aspect of it. And it feels like the Title IX aspect of it has always been important to the core values of the University of Nebraska.
Sure.
And it could be as simple as that. I'd love to tell you I think that's why it's happening, but back to the pie, got to keep the pie being fed.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough to square that circle, right? Like, just to make it all fit.
Yeah.
And
new poll question up at After Hour 1620. Did you have a town crier? Go answer that question. Let us know. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Thanks for listening tonight. Are you on your way out to Gretna? Are you listening to us in Gretna right now? Have you heard of Marrow? If not, you're missing out on the best hidden gem of the Gretna area. Stop out to Marrow tonight. You're going to have the ideal bar experience when you walk in. You'll see the bartenders behind the bar with the burlap overalls on. You're going to get an amazing steakhouse feel from a high-level restaurant like Marrow. They've got a ton of different items right on the menu, from the chef specials all the way down to your favorite item that you could circle. It doesn't matter. Just point your finger on the menu. You're going to find something delicious. Stop out at Marrow tonight. We'll be right back. Who shouldn't be excited about the transfer portal? We'll tell you. 1620 Zone.
hey, everybody, it's Sean here once again for Bob at Williams Law. We just had a couple of very out of our depth legal discussions right here on After Hours, because we are not legal experts, but you know who is? Guy who comes in and tells us why we're wrong every week. It's Bob Williams at Williams Law. If you have legal questions, Bob is the guy for you. He can explain things in terms that you can understand. He's not going to ask you to pay him up front. It's a free, no obligation legal consultation. If you just have questions, he wants to get you answers. He wants to get to know you, make sure it's a fit. And then on your big day in court, he's going to be right there with you, walking you through the entire process. If you got legal questions, you need Bob in your corner. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
You're listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
I know why everybody's here. They want my hip hop takes. That's why you listen to this show. Post Malone, vastly underrated.
I think he's rated.
He's definitely rated. He's definitely underrated.
He's appropriately rated, and he also doesn't make hip hop anymore.
He's like one of the most popular musicians in the world, dude.
And underrated.
Still doesn't make hip hop.
Not anymore. It's country artist.
Really?
Yeah. Hangs out with Lil Durk.
I just assumed that he was a Bud Light artist now.
Might be that as well.
Which, to be fair, those commercials are always very good. When they're annoying Peyton Manning,
even hotter take.
A+.
Really bad tattoos.
Yeah, he needs to wash his face.
It's the After Hours Lounge brought to you by
with a laser.
Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app
With
to
a
your
laser.
smartphone tonight with a laser.
And Michelle.
The transfer portal. It giveth and it taketh.
Ooh.
Dabo Sweeney is now a part of the team. Oh, people are calling in.
Hey.
Hip hop takes. People are like, what is this idiot talking about? He's one of those famous artists on the planet. Anyway, there are going to be some teams that I think are vastly disappointed about their transfer portal classes this year. And we're going to go through a couple of those schools and give you. I'm going to start us off. I really think the entire ship has not only sailed, but has sunk in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh,
yeah,
they lost Jordan Seaton.
Yeah, who was one of those guys that was supposed to be like the next crop of 5 stars after Travis Hunter, and what we were going to be able to build around a program defining left tackle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just think that
who did they bring in?
You know, there's an age old saying that when the tide goes out, you can tell who's skinny dipping. And I think Colorado's going to be left butt naked out in the middle of the ocean.
I just want to see who they have.
They've added 2 5 stars to the equation.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they got Cedric Smith, the D lineman from Maryland. I don't know. Doesn't look good. I don't like it. Yeah, that's interesting that you brought that up. Jordan Seaton is a huge loss. They lost a running back to Oregon. They lost a tackle to Tennessee. Yeah, man, it's. Oh, DJ McKinney went to Notre Dame. I'm just looking.
Yeah. They lost. I think they lost. 13 players, and I think they brought in 6.
It's
of note. I mean, it's more.
Yeah,
than that,
dude.
But
honestly, they weren't on. I didn't think about Colorado, but that is a terrific call by you. Like that is. Dion. I think it was fun while it lasted for Colorado fans, but
sure.
Honestly,
and listen, I think it's also
after
important they were the bottom of Power 5, and
sure, but after last season and what's about to happen this year, do you want him to come back?
Well, and
even if he could,
even if you do, should he? Like, is he at a part
with
in
his
life
health? Yeah,
where
yeah,
it may be smart for reasons away from the field to just walk away.
Yeah, the team that came to mind immediately for me when you said let's talk about this on the show, Wisconsin. Wisconsin was the number one team that came to mind for me because it just seems like every year of the Luke Fickell era, if we can call it that now, has been marked by, well, look what they did in the portal. Like they're going to get it fixed. Like they brought in this guy and this guy.
Listen,
and this guy.
I incorrectly said on these airwaves that Tanner Mordecai was the transfer of the year they got him,
and it has not worked.
I was
right?
wrong.
I don't think
very
that.
Wrong.
And the class that they're bringing in this year out of the portal is maybe the worst one that they've had. Like there isn't a marquee name, unless you really like Malachi Coleman, that is coming out of the portal for
Raise your hand if you
Wisconsin.
remember that even happened.
And look at how bad they were last year. Like, and that's a team that their quarterback, who they brought in from Maryland, has transferred away again. Like this is not a good situation. And I think like Wisconsin is set up for even more disappointment.
Can I give you a theory?
What's your theory?
I think there are certain schools, probably more Big Ten centric, that are looking at the Indiana effect and saying, why do we need to pay all these players high-end money?
Yeah.
They did it with a bunch of guys that were 3 stars and below. Maybe we need to get rid of the drama and the divas in our locker room, go get guys that are willing to just be here and do it the Wisconsin way.
Yeah. And look, this was the year that also they didn't fire Luke Fickell. They fired all of his assistants and said, we're going to give you a whole bunch of money to spend in the portal. And honestly, look up and down their portal class. Who's the turnaround guy? Is there anybody? I don't think so. Like,
no.
Wisconsin is again going to be at the bottom of the Big Ten.
So the reason they didn't jump out to me was it's kind of hard for me to feel like you're not going to succeed in the transfer portal when I don't have any expectations for your program in the first.
Sure. I like the reason it mostly stuck in my mind is just because of all the things they said at the end of the year about retaining Luke Fickell and giving him the budget to build a roster, right?
Sure. Yeah. We'll go to the phones, 402-951-1620. We'll go to Rich. Rich, welcome into the After Hours Lounge.
Gentlemen, how's it going?
Evening, sir.
What's up, Rich?
Not too bad. I hate to change gears, but I need your feedback on this question.
Okay.
Hey, Rich, real quick, if we're on speaker, can you take us off speaker? There's a little bit of an echo.
I'm not on speaker.
Okay.
I'm in my car.
Okay.
I'm on the interstate, and I'm on my cell, so I'm sorry.
That's all right. We'll power through. What do you got for us?
All right. So anyway, Dan Hurley, okay? Hate to switch gears, but Dan Hurley. If we play anything like we played the other night, Creighton that is he going to hang a 40 or 50 burger on us? And is he going to pull off the dog, or is he going to keep the dogs going? Because number one, he can't stand playing here. And
what gives you that thought?
Business with the students and everything else.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm just curious because I'm a little concerned about embarrassment.
You should be.
If these guys don't put forth the effort, because Connecticut is really good.
No, they're
really,
not.
Really good.
They're not really good.
And
they are probably the best team in the country.
I know.
They're better than really good.
Is it going to be something that we're gonna be so embarrassed that people? It'll be a long-lasting effect, negative-wise, for the Jays and their fans.
Rich, I'm going to go disconnect because of the echo issue, and we'll answer your question. I did want to touch on this tonight, though, because I'm really worried about tomorrow night. I don't think it was, and I think we're going to find this out. I don't think Marquette has figured it out. I don't think that's what we're going to learn about Marquette following that game. I think it is more Matt kind of talked about this with John earlier today, and I'm a little surprised he said it publicly, but Josh Dix is really beat up. Jason Green is kind of put together with tape, bubble gum, and barbed wire right now.
Duct tape and baling wire.
Yeah, and I feel comfortable in saying you've probably seen Owen Freeman for the last time in a Creighton uniform in a ready-to-play capacity because of whatever happened to his lower leg again. Karam Konan is still trying to figure out Americanized basketball. Austin Swartz is really good when he can space and pace the floor, step into shots, and create for himself and create for others. Nick Graves, when isn't entrusted with all of the responsibilities of the offense, can be a serviceable, if not very good point guard. The problem is this team, as in the Creighton Blue Jays, is going to limp into the CHI Health Center tomorrow night with all the deficiencies they already had, and now they're even more banged up 20 games into a basketball season. I'm not here to make excuses. This is just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
And to Rich's question about the dogs being called off, I want to be very adamant. Shaka Smart did not call off the dogs. They got up 30 and went, we're up 30. Dan Hurley will go to the bench if guys shrug their shoulders and are happy being up 30.
Yeah.
He is going to absolutely try to put it on Creighton tomorrow night. Now, with that being said, sometimes there's magic in sports.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, Creighton has had that magic when UConn has shown up, and it hasn't mattered what number is next to their name.
It's been more often when they've gone to stores, though.
Fair. But, listen, Solo Ball and Alex Caravan and those guys feel really slighted by the fact that they're probably being looked at as a 2 seed right now. That's going to change, and I think we may be talking about UConn as the number 1 seed by the time the end of the season gets here, because I don't think they're losing a game in Big East play. I know they got taken to the brink by Providence. I understand that Seton Hall gave them more than they wanted to handle, and they still got to play St. John's and Queens. I know all of that. I think that's the best team in America right now.
Well, I'll say this. If it's going to happen for Creighton, it's going to happen tomorrow.
That's a great point.
Because
the Super Bowl,
it's a team that has to have a now or never mentality. It's a team that is probably going to be looked at by UConn as what they are, a beat up, underachieving unit. Right?
Yeah.
That can get a team to overlook you.
If this is in stores, I would agree with what you just said.
Okay.
The fact that they're coming here and the fact that their head coach is that guy and feels about that building the way he does, extended tunnel and all.
Yep.
There's going to be a lot of feel-good moments tomorrow because, in my opinion, it's the best day on the entire calendar for Creighton University. What they do for the Pink Out game is second to none at that university, in my opinion. I feel really bad in saying I think that's going to be about the only feel-good moment you have tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes one of two ways. I don't think it's a close loss or a close win. Rather, I don't think it's a close loss for Creighton
or a blowout.
I think it's either a Creighton upset
or a huge UConn win.
Or a huge UConn win.
I think it's one of the.
It's a close Creighton.
I think
win.
it's one of those things.
It's a close Creighton win, or it's a huge UConn win, and I think those are the two outcomes that are really the only ones that are likely.
The caveat that I'll give to Jays fans is, if UConn beats you by 40 tomorrow, don't let that deter the way the rest of the season goes, because there's going to be a lot of teams that UConn could beat by 40, and this team,
probably 80% of the teams in college basketball,
80% of the teams in the Big East specifically. This team from here forward, specifically tomorrow, is going to be about the 26-27 Blue Jays more than it is about the 25-26. And I know nobody wants to hear that, but listen, if Creighton wins out, and that's 2 wins over UConn and St. John's, you're probably still not an at-large bid team. You would literally have 4 quad 1 wins, and you would
you'd be on quite a string.
Sure, I agree, but listen, you even if that was enough to get you over the hump, you're probably a last 4 in team.
You're an 11. You're an 11 seed.
But that means there are some other things that could also happen around the country that would still keep you. I think the ship has sailed, and that's the 3rd time I made that reference tonight, which feels weird, on Creighton being an at-large team. Like, you have to go win the Big East tournament now. If not win out and then go make at least the conference championship game.
Yeah.
That's not, like, 100 out of 100 times. That's not happening once, in my opinion. I just think that this coaching staff,
maybe UConn gets upset by somebody else, and
which would be bad. You need to beat UConn, and they need to win out. That would be
no.
Oh, you're talking about the tournament. Yeah, sure. That's happened. But tomorrow, I will be amazed if, when we're looking at the box sheet, you don't see a number around 28, 25 minutes for Hudson Greer. You don't see 30, 32 minutes for Austin Swartz. And it's like, okay, what does next year look like? Because you get Jason Green back if he wants to come back. And
those numbers might just be out of pure necessity.
Sure. But Josh Dick's not coming back. Nick Graves not coming back. So you got to figure out, you got to win. You're obviously going to try to win. But you also got to figure out, okay, not only how do we figure out pieces for next year, how do we encourage guys to stick around and come back next year too? Because I've been adamant about this since and I know we've had private conversations about it, but I've been adamant about this since the Alan Huss hiring as the coach in waiting. I understand what has been said publicly. I've had coaches on the staff tell me that Mac is going to be there for 2 years. I don't think there's any world in any situation where you take a head coach out of a head coaching seat and put him as an assistant on the staff and say you're going to wait for 2 years. I think this is Greg McDermott's last year, no matter what. And if that's the case, you got to start building to the Alan Huss era. And listen, if Mac wants to come back, he can come back for 4 more years. I'm not saying that there would be any reason he's forced out. I want to be very adamant about that. I just think that it was probably a mutual understanding that, hey, we want to hand this off to you. I'll be here for a transition year, and then I'm going to go play a ton of golf in Arizona. Because if I was Greg McDermott, that's what I would do.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like if they missed the tournament, he wouldn't want to go out that way.
Sure. And I get that. But the thing is you would have to go all in on the transfer portal again. And raise your hand if you felt like before the season that's what they did this year. And it didn't work out.
Hands up.
Yeah. So I'm going to be really surprised. And listen, even if they go on, win the Big East tournament and are a tournament team, I still think he's done. I just think it was a foregone conclusion before the season started.
And I guess the question is like, we all know how much respect Greg McDermott gets for being an offensive wizard.
Sure.
Right? Like
so does Alan Huss, though.
What he gets credit for. And you wonder, right? Like, is his system conducive to bringing in a bunch of disparate talent that's been all over the place out of the transfer portal and getting that all to gel within his like offensive wizardry within one season?
It's not. It's historically. It's never been that. Like, think about Stephen Ashworth and how long it took him to get up to speed as a guy that came in playing 3 years of college basketball. Think about how long it took for a guy that was here from the start, Marcus Zagorowski, who was great in flashes and then kind of put it all together by the end. Like, those are point guard specific guys, but like I think about guys like Nick Graves, which why I think the Austin Swartz at the one position is really entertaining for next year because he's going to be up to speed. But I just don't think the going and putting pieces together of
it's not like an easy basketball system.
Because like think about the best teams. Like Baylor was here for 2 years. Stephen was here for 2 years. You had a Constant and Kalkbrenner here for 5. Like there was the caveat and the pieces that were the glue guys that were multi-year players.
Yeah.
And you're going to have that next year with a Jackson McAndrew and a Jason Green and to some degree an Austin Swartz and guys that can, and Hudson Greer, who I think is maybe the biggest piece of the puzzle of them all. Man, I am really high on that kid. I think he's got a ton of potential. He's got some work to do on the defensive side of things, but throw a Fedor Zugic into that equation, who's made some big jumps defensively. I think next year, that group of guys, and listen, it's important. It is public knowledge that it's very important to Greg McDermott how he hands this off to Alan Huss.
Sure.
And I think with that nucleus of guys, it's a lot easier to hand off than, hey, here's a piecemeal team that we put together through the portal of 6 new players. Hope it works. See you later, buddy. Send you a postcard from Arizona.
Right.
I think a lot of those things as well. Listen, we got to take a break. We got to find out what's trending on social media when we come back. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620 The Zone. We talked about the transfer portal in football that we got on the Creighton Blue Jays. Check it out. It's brought to you by Controlled Comfort. It's cold outside. Don't let it become cold inside. If you're listening to us on your Alexa right now and there's a nice sickle hanging off your nose, that's not supposed to happen. Your thermostat's probably not working. Head over to controlledcomfort.com. Set up a maintenance appointment with Tony and the team. The social media soundbite and Dan Campion. We come back. 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Paul Davis Restoration. If there's water in your basement, you need to call this number, 402-553-0373. Paul Davis can have a team out to your house in a flash, getting all that nastiness cleaned up, whether it's mold mitigation, water damage, smoke damage, whatever it is. They'll get your home fixed up back to the way it was before the damage happened. And you know, at this time of year, pipes break. Sometimes you get a leak in that hose bib on the outside of the house and it causes water to back up and then you've got a big mess and it's an emergency situation. Well, that's why you save this number, 402-553-0373, because Paul Davis has an emergency response team that will be at your residence within a 30-minute window. That's their guarantee. It's on the website. They say it must be true. Give them a call. If you got problems, it's Paul Davis Restoration.
Life is unpredictable with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with a trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience from their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
Hey Jays fans, it's hoop season and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vest, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is coming, and Hy-Vee and Chesterman Coca-Cola are ready to keep teams and all their diehard fans hydrated all year long. To kick off the year, for the whole month of January, you can get 24 packs of Coke for $12.99, 10-pack minis for $6.99, and Dasani Water will rehydrate you with 24 packs, just $3.99. Stay hydrated with Chesterman Coca-Cola and take advantage of the savings all January long.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
We are down to one. It is football's biggest game, and you can get involved with Underdog right now in the state of Nebraska. And if you're not on Underdog yet, where have you been? Come on in, because new customers get $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And playing Underdog has been so easy. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower on different stats, such as touchdowns, touchdown passes, rushing yards, receiving yards, and a whole lot more. And yes, you can play Underdog in time for football's biggest game here in Nebraska.
What are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use our promo code 1620TheZone. And as John said, you can score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code 1620TheZone. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:09 on a Friday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen, John Schreiner, Dan Campion with you here tonight. Brought to you by Bellevue University. Download the BU Bruins app to your smartphone tonight. Dan Campion's got buy or sell for us.
Yes, I do. As we know, social media soundbite is generally for A, the news of the day, or B, to find an idiot. And
sometimes both.
And I was going to say, I have done both tonight. I have both gotten us some news, and I've also found us an idiot.
All right.
Let's hear from said idiot.
This.
That's one reason. That's another.
You're undermining the point.
There's another one. He's your head coach.
I need time to dismantle this fool.
Also, real quick, can I give one more thing? Because
is it Will Compton's response?
Favorite son of Nebraska and the internet, Will Compton, gave us this little thing.
It's really loud.
It is, but I thought the part was very important because it outlines the important part that the important point that Emmanuel Acco is making.
Nacho.
Whatever. It's a fart coming out of his mouth. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why
dismantle?
Should Todd Monken keep Shedeur Sanders on his roster? He hasn't won anything at an NFL level. He hasn't done. Maybe he had a 9-win season at Colorado, but as an NFL quarterback,
he's a Pro
what has he
Bowler.
won? What has Shedeur Sanders ever done as an NFL quarterback?
He's a Pro Bowler.
Shut your mouth. This is the dumbest of all takes. It's the okay. All right. Then nobody on the Rams should have listened to Sean McVay.
Right.
Nobody on the 49ers should have ever listened to Kyle Shanahan. Right? Am I right?
Both those guys, offensive coordinators, never had coaches. How's that working out? Both pretty good teams.
It is the most idiotic thing. It is so stupid. I can't it shatters my brain to think about how dumb this is.
He literally told you why you should listen to him while asking why you should listen to him. And here's the thing.
So dumb.
Would you rather have one of the other former Cleveland Brown coaches at this point? Like, that's why I hesitate. Like, I listen, I think this is a good hire by Cleveland. I think he's a really good coach. Does it matter? It hasn't mattered how many really good coaches have been in Cleveland beforehand. Just hasn't worked out.
Stupid.
Last time I checked, let me check my notes here. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel's still on the roster. So
I just want, while Emmanuel Acho is speaking, I really want Mario Lopez to walk down the stairs and go, stupid. You know, the meme from Saved by the Bell.
It's always good.
So I know that I have a job in sports media.
You do? What do you do?
I produce this after
Are you
hours.
allowed to do that being an owner of the Green Bay Packers?
So yes, actually,
Tom Brady pulls it off somehow.
Me and Tom Brady have a meeting once a week, and we
Tom
say,
Brady's a minority owner as opposed to
Is this still okay?
Majority owner of the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, it's Joey Colbert, Tom Brady, and me all around a table. And we say, is this
Joey
okay?
a card-carrying member of the ownership of the Green Bay Packers team as well? I didn't know.
Yes,
that.
he is.
Okay.
That's why we have secret owners meetings.
Fair enough.
But
they're not too secretive. You guys usually just yell at each other in the hallway, but
that is true. I just don't understand how people like Emmanuel Acho or whatever. However, that
nailed
is
it. Got it.
his name. Perfect. I don't understand how he keeps a job in sports media for as long as he does, and for every just dumb thing that he says that comes out of his mouth
he's getting
about
killed
the
for
NFL.
this. He's getting killed. For this.
absolutely hammered.
And he deserves to be.
He's gotten killed for like the last 12 months for everything that he did at Fox Sports, for everything that he's doing now. He just never
He
says,
had one tackle one time.
he never says anything that is like actually just generally competent. And he doesn't understand how to structure an argument, at least with like Stephen A. Smith.
That's debatable.
He made a statement and then undermined it with all of the.
But he does
the
it all the
next
time. But he does it all the time.
Yeah. That's at least Stephen A. Smith does the thing where he takes a hard line in the sand and he says, I'm not going over this line and I'm standing right here and I'm telling you how I feel about something in this issue and
Yeah,
this thing.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't watch football in the
And he
talking about
provides
football, though.
supporting opinions, not contrasting opinions.
He doesn't just like cross over the line and go, well, and this is a reason why, but it's still not a reason why to listen to him, and like gives evidence for his own point in the negative.
Just a really weird hill to die on. Like
it's dumb.
Yeah.
And also for someone who
Could have gave an argument who you'd like to see the Browns hire instead too. Didn't do that.
For a former football player too, to
know
be
what?
like, don't listen to your head coach.
The other thing is that
That's why he's only a 2-year pro.
it comes off as Shadur Sanders' apologism too. Just like, well,
he's been on that bandwagon. For
oh,
a
I
long
know.
time now.
I absolutely.
That's
know
definitely
that.
what this was.
He's better than they said he was.
It is preemptively saying Shadur Sanders sucks. It's Todd Monken's fault. That's exactly what this is.
Hey, Kevin Stefanski got him to a Pro Bowl, though. People forget. We'll get to that more by ourselves. We
I
come
just
back.
vomited in my
If
mouth.
you missed the social media soundbite tonight, I don't often say this. Don't even bother going back and listening to it. It wasn't worth your time. Check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Recon Pest Services, who's always worth your time. Listen, if you have pest issues, maybe you're a landlord and you have a rental property and you're looking for a pest service to maybe get rid of some termites or a problem with roaches from a previous tenant that you didn't have before they got there. Get rid of them permanently by having Recon Pest Services come out and take care of your rental property tonight. We'll be right back. Buying or selling on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for AX Plumbing, home or residential. They can do it all, and they've done it all for me, whether it be installing a urinal at my business or replacing a wax ring under a toilet in my personal home. They can help you out with all your big-time plumbing problems. Maybe you have a big-time plumbing problem, but not a big-time plumbing budget. There's financing available on the website as well, so get your big-time plumbing issues fixed this winter with AX Plumbing. Head over to axpservice.com and work with Nick and the team tonight.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8. And every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Cars' incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Rail Car Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Winter may slow pests down, but it's the perfect time to prepare your home for spring. Rodents, spiders, and other pests often show up indoors this time of year. A winter pest control checkup helps seal entry points now so you're not dealing with pests when warmer weather hits. At Recon Pest Services, we're proud to be a local company and supporting causes that make Omaha better. If you're looking for a pest control partner or even support for a cause, think Recon. Visit reconpestservices.com and get your home ready for a pest-free spring.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
$7:21 at the start of the second hour of the After Hours Lounge. Get your running shoes on, boys. It's time to buy or sell. Brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. Dan, what do we got?
Bet you never hear me say this in a million years. Put money on it because this might be the last time. 2 Browns quarterbacks are in the Pro Bowl. Made a lot of hay last week about Shedeur making the Pro Bowl, but now Joe Flacco,
he's a Bengals quarterback,
is also going to be in the Pro Bowl. Buy or sell. This is the official death knell of the Pro Bowl.
Sell. It was
the death knell was like 2012. I'm sure there's something that bad happened to that game that year.
I like Odson's idea that he put on Twitter today. He said, "Bleep the Pro Bowl, bring back the quarterback competition."
Yeah, stop doing. Who cares? List the All-Pro team and move on. We don't need an All-Star game in every sport.
And stop letting fans vote for it because it's dumb.
It is indeed dumb. But no, I think this is like, I didn't care about the Pro Bowl before the actual like Pro Bowl game. I do love all of the extra little games that they play around it because I think it's kind of funny and kind of fun.
I agree, but you don't need a team or positions to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, weird. Kind of, I get. I mean, you do kind of need positions.
Those quarterback competitions,
centers
fun,
for snap and stuff.
Just invite people. It's an open invite. And put it back in Hawaii.
Give them a plaque.
Put it back in Hawaii. Invite
yeah.
Invite whoever wants to come. They can pay for their own dime if they don't make the team or aren't an invited member. More people would probably show up, and it wouldn't be as big of a joke. Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Indeed. After the Super Bowl, the Seahawks will apparently be for sale.
John Schreiner's buying them.
They are alleged to fetch $7 to $8 billion with a B dollars. Buy or sell.
Non-owner of an NFL franchise in this room.
We scrape together some cash, make a bid.
Can you bid? Can you just be like, hey, I got $8 and some pocket lint and a wash machine. We good?
I mean, that's how the buses got the Lakers. So,
I mean, yeah, sure. I'd love to be an NFL owner.
How do you spell venture capitalist?
Anybody secretly own a bunch of buildings that happen to be on Madison Avenue in New York?
Let me talk to a loan officer at FNBO and see what we got. What we can get done.
Free shout outs to FNBO.
I wonder what the repayment plan on the $7 billion loan is.
Doug.
Yeah. Doug?
Old man Doug, give us a call.
Will they take banking personally?
402-951-1620.
Would you like to take the Seahawks personally?
Yeah, there you go. Would it be Equitable Bank Field?
Actually, I would change it. Although I'm sure you'd get a lot of pushback from Lumen.
Yeah, a little bit.
They have a lot of money hiked up in those naming rights. And speaking of naming rights, not exactly, but the Minnesota Vikings have fired general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. Not wildly notable, but what is telling is not but 24 hours ago, KAM was at the Senior Bowl scouting talent. Buy or sell? It's a cold world we live in.
It's a cold Omaha right now, I'll tell you that.
This is probably an unpopular opinion, but when things like this happen, I wonder if there's something that happened we don't know yet. That's where my mind goes. When it's this late in the process and things like that were happening the day prior, I hope there's not more of a story to this.
Well, this is also the guy who told Sam Darnold, like, yeah, we're good, bro.
Darnold. Yeah.
We're good, bro. Have fun.
Yeah.
We got JJ McCarthy, so we're good. We're good. You can there's the door. Have fun on your way out.
Back to being a thoughts process guy. You think any of him said, we got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. We really need that good of a quarterback to be a functional offense.
Yeah. Well,
could have got me there.
I
could understand that thought process.
Horrible thought, because everybody knows that there's been like 2 times in NFL history where you've won a Super Bowl without a very good quarterback.
Who's the other one? Obviously Trent Dilfer's one.
Obviously Trent
Yes.
Dilfer.
What's the other? You said two. Who's the other one?
The other one is
Team.
Joe Flacco.
Hey. Joe Flacco was pretty good that season.
He was fine.
Yeah, he was a lot better than Trent Dilfer.
He's better than Trent.
Both of those
like,
quarterbacks quarterbacked the Ravens to a Super Bowl, by the way.
Yes, they did.
I think it like Sam Darnold taking the Seahawks to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's
has to do something.
Listen, we
to the
killed
psyche.
We absolutely massacred the Giants about Saquon Barkley because he went on to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Like, and it probably doesn't help that was on Hard Knocks and it's on TV to
I
become a
massacred
meme.
the Vikings the other day.
I think they're getting too much of a pass for this. By the way, it's one thing to let a running back go that's already led the league in rushing one time. It's another thing to let a quarterback go that goes on to win.
I saw somebody like comment online today that like Darnold played so bad in Week 18 and in the wild card game they had to let him go. And it's like, no, they didn't.
Yeah, you didn't have to.
No, he won 14 regular season games. You didn't have to do
Despite
anything.
how bad he played in those two games.
And you know what I think is moderately overlooked within the conversation around the Vikings and Sam Darnold?
Oh, sorry.
No, what I think is overlooked is the fact that you do have Jordan Addison and you do have Justin Jefferson. And you know what Sam Darnold was really good at?
Throwing them the football.
Yes, getting them the ball. And you would think, oh, well, Justin Jefferson still had 1,000 yards this season. He should have 2,000 yards every season.
Let me introduce you to my close personal friend,
what.
Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's been pretty good with.
I don't know about 2,000 yards, Dan.
Yeah, that's excessive.
Nobody's ever done that.
I mean, if one guy could, though, it's probably the dude.
Yeah.
Is that the we'll wrap up by ourselves there, Dan. If you missed by ourselves tonight, we'll talk about whatever your next topic is on the other side of the break.
Okay.
Check it out on our radio replay page at 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Controlled Comfort Heating and Air. It's cold outside. Don't let it become cold inside. Even if your heater's not kicking on when it's supposed to, it may not be a big-time furnace problem. It may be as simple as your thermostat not reacting in time. Head over to ControlledComfort.com. Get peace of mind about your HVAC system tonight. Dan Campiden's Wild Thoughts. 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Aloe Fiber. Listen, I tell you all the time, I made the switch 2 years ago. I have not had a single regret since switching to Aloe Fiber. Great TV options with DirecTV. Aloe Mobile is the all-new mobile provider of the Huskers and the fastest internet speeds you can rely on. No buffering on your TV. I have a Wi-Fi extender on the back of my house now. 2 blocks away, I still have my Wi-Fi signal. If you want internet like that, you can count on. Head over to aloefiber.com/Husker Radio tonight.
Your Omaha area forecast from KETV Newswatch 7.
Mostly clear and bitterly cold tonight. Lighter winds, a low down to 2 below zero. A sunny, frigid start Saturday, then clouds on the increase and a high of 23. Then watching a chance of light snow Saturday night. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in a romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
AX Plumbing has the cold weather deals. So if your hot water isn't so hot anymore, you can't afford to pass up on these deals. Tankless water heaters are $450 off. Traditional water heaters are $200 off. And for those real hard water problems, water softeners are $300 off. Stop by AXP Service tonight and fix your water heater before it gets too cold outside. AX Plumbing. We'll leave your home or your business cleaner than we found it.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:33 on a Friday night on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Pyramid Contractors. You don't become #1 in Omaha for over a decade by accident. Head over to pyramidroof.com. Get a free estimate for your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can do it all. Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Dan Campen, you had another buy or sell question. You were very offended that I was moving on from buy or sell. So
he had something to get in there.
We will.
Well, yeah, because it's your buy or sell question.
Oh, okay. Why
Jimmy,
the hell do you care if we move on then?
The Royal Rumble is coming up.
Oh,
buy or
yes.
sell, Sami Zayn can come away with the belt.
I hope so, because that dude deserves it. He's been kind of like the unsung workhorse of that company for like a decade now. I don't know if I want to touch that. I'm really surprised he's choosing to attend this event. He's of Syrian descent. There has been some issues with him going to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for a lot of reasons. He famously wears Syrian language on his tights. I don't think that's going to happen tomorrow night. Yeah, it would be cool. I don't think it's going to happen because of the event it's happening at. And I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough.
You're not going to ask me on my thoughts who's going to win the men's Royal Rumble?
I mean, I thought it was going to be Braun Breaker. It seems like the internet thinks it's going to be Braun Breaker.
It should be. I really hope it's AJ Styles. So there's been a rumor that this is AJ Styles' last match. Shinsuke Nakamura accidentally tweeted that out. Shinsuke Nakamura, first language, not English, probably didn't understand that he wasn't supposed to tell people this, and then posted on the internet that AJ Styles was retiring at the Royal Rumble. I think it would be one of the best swerves in the history of pro wrestling if they're like, just kidding, he's going to WrestleMania to take on the champion.
Brock Lesnar
who called Pat McAfee to announce that he was going to be in the Royal Rumble live on air, by the way.
Junkyard Dog
will not be in attendance.
Hacksaw.
There's
Duggan.
There's a rumor that Vince McMahon is going to appear at the Royal Rumble, though.
Ooh, Brock Hardy with the comeback.
Someone's going to throw
he got
him
the
through
pin.
a table.
Yeah, we're watching fake wrestling on TV.
It's real wrestling.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Brock Hardy was down 7-2 and came back and got the
losing
pin.
Very dramatically.
He got the pin.
Oh, boy. Nebraska and Penn State wrestling on BTN Live. Dan, we got anything else for buy or sell?
Oh yeah. The only other one that I have is we always root for the hometown boy. So by the transitive property, we root for the hometown boy's boy, right?
Who?
The friend of my friend is my enemy.
No, the friend of my friend is an even better friend.
It's the enemy. It's the enemy of my enemy. Is my friend Dan. I was just kidding.
Ah.
What are we talking about?
Buy or sell, Shakur Stevenson gets the win this
Oh,
week.
you weren't here last night.
Yeah,
We keep
that
talking
was-
about
that
stuff.
was Jimmy's whole thing last night.
We keep talking about things we talked about last night. I forgot there was Jake in here, not you. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson's gonna beat the brakes out of TFM. This is my closing argument last night. Yeah.
Okay.
My point
Good.
was Shakur is gonna just dog walk TFM
Yeah.
Lopez tomorrow night.
I think Shakur gets the win. I don't know if it's a walkover, but I think
You
he
are gonna
gets the
feel
win.
really bad for Teofimo Lopez's face at the end of tomorrow night.
I know.
Thoughts? This is your guy, Dan.
I'm gonna say
Your close personal friend, Shakur Stevens.
I mean, he only swerved me like 4 times at the last fight that we were at. So, you know,
I didn't understand why he didn't want to come on after he came on in Vegas. I didn't get that. I was very confused.
he was busy.
No, he wasn't. He was literally just standing there.
There were a lot of people who were
and he
bending
was just,
his
and
ear.
he was just chumming us up as we were walking up that
Dude,
LA lot.
that guy was running around
I don't want to hear it.
like a chihuahua.
Shakur,
Like,
we'll let you slide, but next time you got to come on the show.
Yes, you do.
I got a buy or sell question.
I think he's got the win.
sell.
You guys never let me ask questions on this show, so I'm going to ask a question.
It's your show.
Bud Crawford done?
Yeah.
Do you don't think he's ever in boxing
He's
again?
done.
No, he's not done.
I don't think so either.
He's going to do one more fight. I think it'll be, like early fall on like whatever the bye week is. There'll be 1 year where the Huskers will have an early bye week
Oh,
in like
he's-
the end of September, and they'll take over Memorial Stadium for one last fight against a tomato can just for, the people of Nebraska.
Do you know how difficult it would be to have somebody just go, here's $70 million. You want it?
When you're sitting on like 180,
You know what rich people want more of? More money.
I don't know, man.
I
don't know.
I see a guy named David Ellison right now.
I believe, I have an opinion. I believe that this has been a little bit of a middle finger to the WBO. You want to find me? You want your belt? Good luck with boxing without me. Pay me to come back. and I'll do
I know, like, I've been the one who says, like, when does the retired boxer ever stay retired the first time? This one feels different though. It seems like he's content. He got.
I agree with that.
He slayed the big dragon. Like
41 of them to be exact.
What else is there for him to achieve? What else?
I don't count Frank Lundy as a big dragon.
Oh, fair enough. So I don't think there's anything more for him to achieve. I think it's the real like glory go around and get the sort of retirement, quote unquote, that he would like.
We're not going to get to any of the rest of our topics on the list tonight, are we?
No, I don't think we are. I just also think there's a little bit to the fact that for a guy who has been told you're not a draw, that you cost Top Rank millions of dollars, that's a direct quote from Bob Arum. You're ducking fights, even though
Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, well, that was. Listen, anything Eddie Hearn said was said kind of tongue in cheek and as a jab to be a jab for jab's sake. But for the guy that was never desired by the promoters and now he's the biggest name in boxing, there's a little bit of posturing here. You want me? How bad do you want me? See that decimal? You're gonna have to go like this. And I don't blame him. I really don't.
Yeah. He just seems content with what he's done.
We got to get to our top 5 disappointments from the college football season this year. We come back. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It's brought to you by Jarrett Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You got a big day coming up this spring. Is it the biggest day? Do you want to be the best dressed guy at your own wedding? There's only one place you need to be. It's 78th and Dodge. Stop by Jarrett Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Don't rent a suit. Buy your suit. Put multi-purpose behind your wedding. Use that suit any other time in your life. Get over to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You know how often you can put your wedding suit pants to work? You can wear them to work. I'm doing it right now. I'm sitting in the same pants I got married in because I bought them from Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Stop by 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha and grooms for over 50 years. We'll be right back. Top 5 disappointments of the college football season. Who does Dan Campinen have on his list? 1620 Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's John here for Rail Car on 144th and Blondo. You know where I like to go for brunch, and it's Rail Car, and it's right there, 144th and Blondo. Chilaquiles. That's the word you need to memorize. You need to learn how to pronounce it. You need to learn how to spell it. You definitely need to learn how to read it because it's on the menu at Rail Car, on the brunch menu, which you can get from 9 to 2 every Saturday and Sunday, right there at 144th and Blondo. It's breakfast nachos, folks. What is not to like? It's great. It's fabulous. If you've never had it, you need to get yourself in. You need to try it. Plus, they've got something called the Pile Up. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a huge pile of breakfast food on a plate that you can get at Railcar. Everything there's great. Stop in Friday and Saturday night, primetime prime rib, plus the brunch on Saturday and Sunday. You can make it a double feature if you want. I would advise that. Get yourself to Railcar this weekend.
Life is unpredictable, with seasonal storms and plumbing issues hiding around every corner. You can't predict the future. So when life happens, go with the trusted, reputable company like Paul Davis Restoration. Fire, water, mold, or storm damage can all be restored by Paul Davis Restoration. Don't live in the aftermath of tragedy. Restore your home today. Call Paul Davis Restoration at 402-553-0373 today.
Hey, Jays fans, it's hoop season, and you know what that means. Jerry Ryan has the best selection in town for all things Creighton gear. Stop by Jerry Ryan at 78th and Dodge for your quarter zips in all shades of Jays blue, plus jackets, vests, winter coats, you name it. They have it. Multiple Jays options for men and women from Peter Millar, Cutter and Buck, and Johnny O. Stop by Jerry Ryan Clothing and dress like the coaches do.
At Jerry Ryan's, we bring out the best in you.
My name's Stephen Butler, and I own Controlled Comfort, and we've been in business for 6 decades, and in those 6 decades, I like to think that everything we do is about the art of comfort. It's about the skill of our people, but it's also about the integrity, because at the end of the day, I value my employees, so they value you, and that's really all this is about. If you get cold this winter, think about us. We'll come help you out. We'll get you out of bind. It'll be fair, it'll be fast, and it'll be the right price.
Control Comfort keeps it under control.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
If your brand isn't generating you business, well, it's losing. That's where Sign Ovation steps in. We help Omaha businesses win the visibility game with bold storefront signs and vehicle decals that turn your ride into a rolling billboard. Your brand should be working, even when you're not. Driving impressions, creating leads, and bringing customers through the door. Stop riding the bench. Put your brand in the game. Visit OmahaSignsAndWraps.com tonight. That's OmahaSignsAndWraps.com. Sign Ovation, where brands show up and win.
We are down to 1. It is football's biggest game, and you can get involved with Underdog right now in the state of Nebraska. And if you're not on Underdog yet, where have you been? Come on in, because new customers get $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And playing Underdog has been so easy. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower on different stats, such as touchdowns, touchdown passes, rushing yards, receiving yards, and a whole lot more. And yes, you can play Underdog in time for football's biggest game here in Nebraska.
What are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use our promo code 1620TheZone. And as John said, you can score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code 1620TheZone. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Put a bow on the After Hours Lounge on a Friday night. The work week is over. Congratulations. You made it to Friday night. We're brought to you by wow.
No, that's
We're
a long
not.
time ago.
Pyramid Contractors.
That's been a while.
Pyramidroof.com is where you can get a free estimate tonight
It's a
for
throwback.
your windows, your roof, your gutters, your siding. They can
Should
do it
that.
all.
You're supposed to do throwbacks on Thursday.
Check out pyramidroof.com tonight. Guys, I'm very tired.
You don't say.
It is time for a closing arguments courtesy of Bob Williams of Williams Law. But we're going to do it a little bit different tonight. We're going to give our top 5 disappointments, and we're going to close out our show with arguments about bad football teams in college football this year. I'm going to start us off. My number 5, and it pains me to say this out loud, it's Nebraska.
Ooh.
I was very disappointed, specifically how the way the season started.
Straight to the heart.
You remember
Dagger.
how different it felt before the Michigan game this year? Now, there was a lot of thought, and I was one of those people that was very adamant that, hey, the way Cincinnati was running the football against this defense didn't give me good feelings in my tum-tum.
Paper Tiger.
Yeah. Look, Emmett Johnson looked really good and finished really, really good, but there was a lot of things to be positive about after the first 5 games. How positive do you feel after the next 7?
Yeah, the offense wasn't good enough for the defense to be that bad.
Well, I have Nebraska on this list. Who do you got at 5?
I got Florida State at 5. Do you remember the start of the season when Florida State beat Alabama?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened after that? Probably not, because you didn't pay attention to Florida State much after that.
James Williams
they
tweeted a lot.
Sucked. It started off so well, and you thought Norvell had it figured out after the terrible season they had the year before.
I thought it was more that Tony White helped the problem. But
And then, Tommy Castellanos was like Heisman front runner. He was all
right.
over everybody. Everybody wanted to talk to Tommy Katz, and it was like 2 weeks later, we were like, Florida State's not good.
Didn't take us that long.
It was so disappointing.
Yeah. This is more of the same. Dan, number 5? Keep in mind, we got to go quick.
Yep, the SEC. Specifically, I'm going to highlight LSU. They did bad enough.
Fair enough.
They decided to fire Brian Kelly, which was probably a long time coming, to be fair. Not really a great way that their season was supposed to pan out, especially with Nussmeier at quarterback. Still, they thought that they had the offense figured out, and they thought that the defense was going to be much, much improved from the offseason that they had, and it quickly took a nosedive, and not in any sort of positive direction that they've had so far. Luckily, Lane Kiffin is now their head coach. So he has been number 1 in the transfer portal so far. Welcome to Baton Rouge, Mr. Sam Lovett.
I got a comparison for you. I have USC at number 4.
Whoa.
And you remember before the season, I thought that Lincoln Riley wouldn't last the season. It got me to thinking. Is Lincoln Riley Bo Pelini? He's really good at his side of the ball. You always feel good about the offense when Lincoln Riley is the coach. You don't know what you're getting from the other side. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes he makes a decent hire and they make changes. But there's always discussion about one person on the offense that's going to set the world on fire that season. Sometimes it happens, and then you blink, and they're 9-4 at the end of the season. Is Lincoln Riley Bo Pelini?
No.
I think he is.
My number 4 was Kansas State.
Yeah, good call. They're not on my list. They should be.
Kansas State before the season, I think all of us had them in our preseason college football playoff brackets, right? I think we all had them winning the Big 12. And
9-3-8.
They went to Ireland and absolutely dumped it down their leg. And they were bad the rest of the year. And Chris Kleiman quit at the end of the season.
Yeah. It's so bad. He didn't get fired. He went, I'm good, guys.
It doesn't get much more disappointing than that.
That was also my number 4, was Kansas State, because of that Ireland game. I didn't think that was going to be a true dipstick for what the season looked like. But boy, did they check that oil and say, well, we played pretty bad this game. So this whole season is just going to be just like that. Kind of good, kind of bad, just right down the middle. A perfect 6-6.
What's your 4, Dan?
Kansas State.
Oh, you're still okay. You're just backpacking off, John. My number 3 was the preseason top 4 team in the country. I forgot about that. I forgot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I forgot that Cade Klubnik was all the
Oh,
rage
yeah.
for the Heisman Trophy. When I started doing this practice, I went, "Oh yeah, Clemson had expectations."
I
this
told you
season.
that there was one team that had 100% chance of making the college football playoff this year, and it was Clemson.
They did not. Famously,
didn't.
yeah. So they did not have 100%
all of us had them at number 3.
If you'd have told me at the beginning of the season that Clemson and Penn State played in a postseason bowl game together, it's like, well, then they both made the national championship.
No,
Good
they
for them.
didn't.
No, they played in the Pinstripe Bowl, folks.
Yeah, I have Clemson at 3 also. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Same here.
Okay, yeah. Suck it, Dabo.
Yep.
Number 2 is, I think we're probably all going to have the same number 2 and number 1. I have Texas.
Oh, no,
Oh,
sir.
okay. I mean, they thought they had the second coming at quarterback. Felt really good about their head coach. Most teams that were a 10-3 fringe college football playoff team would feel really good about the end of their year. This team had national championship and Heisman expectations.
Yeah.
Didn't sniff either.
Yeah, I think we have our 1 and 2 transposed because I have Penn State at 2.
Okay.
Penn State to me was the team that Ohio State, or the team that Penn State should have been is the team that Ohio State was this year.
Yeah, agreed.
Not quite good enough to win a national championship, but certainly good enough to beat most.
And definitely not bad enough to get their head coach fired.
Not bad enough to get their head coach fired. It tremendously disappointing. Thought that they really had a legitimate chance to be in the national championship.
They're the
conversation.
preseason number 1 team.
I know, but I didn't think that they were.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's a difference between preseason number 1 team and back ending the college football
Yes.
playoff versus
Yeah,
preseason
yeah.
number 1 team starting 4-4.
Right.
Dan?
I too had Penn State in my second spot because we've sort of done it to death, but I don't really hear it outside of this room as much as I think I should.
We're the best radio show on the planet. I agree.
That is true.
Yep.
Many are saying.
Ask the night shift.
At the end of
Night shift?
At the end of the 2025 season, Penn State had just lost their chance at a national championship.
Yeah, and a nail biter. In a game they probably should have won.
Yeah, and it was a great game. Preseason ranked number 1.
With everybody coming back.
And then James Franklin gets fired, not at the end of the season, mid-season.
Yeah, I don't understand how you guys don't have this number 1.
It is amazing
That's
to
what I
me.
find out. Yeah, I think, listen, I clearly have Penn State number 1. You had a 2-headed monster at running back. People were debating which one of the 3 guys in the backfield were going to win the Heisman Trophy in Happy Valley. And James Franklin gets fired midseason. Not only, and to Dan's point, you also made a Final Four the year before and then finished 7-6.
Yep.
I don't understand how anybody else can be a bigger disappointment.
Because it's Texas for me.
They won 10 games. I get it. I have them number 2. But they still won 10 games.
But Arch Manning was supposed to win the Heisman Trophy. Texas was supposed to win the national championship. They didn't even get close to either one of those.
Can I tell you why I think Penn State is a bigger failure? Because everything you
It's not who's a bigger failure, it's who's a bigger disappointment.
Can I say why they're a bigger disappointment? Because everything you just said could still happen next year. Still a possibility. Do you feel that's going to happen? No, but it still could.
But it was still, I still think they're the biggest disappointment for the 2025 season.
Okay. I'm assuming you have Texas number 1.
I do have Texas number 1. And it is because and Paul Feinbaum, this is like 98% on you.
402-951-1620.
If
Give us a call, Paul.
If you didn't
Paul
for the
Feinbaum.
entire offseason before this past football season, say that Arch Manning is better than Peyton, is better than Eli, is going to be.
Do you not feel like he is?
Is going to be the greatest Manning that we have ever seen. Then I wouldn't have even let Texas sniff this list because 10 wins. That's great. That is good for a football team.
It's good.
But it's
Oh,
not
great.
good enough for what we had to hear all offseason about Texas football. That this was going to be God's gift to the SEC. Texas
means
in
what?
their burnt orange and white is going to come out onto the field and it's going to be no contest. And Arch Manning is going to be the greatest football player that we've ever seen. It's going to go Arch Manning, Jesus, and the Dalai Lama.
Like touchdown.
Top
Jesus?
3
Touchdown
greatest
Jesus,
people ever to live in this entire world. And then they didn't even make the college football playoff.
You know who gets the coveted number 6 spot as an honorable mention?
Touchdown Jesus.
Ohio State.
Coastal Carolina.
Ooh.
they're going to have 4 players drafted in the top 10 of the NFL draft.
They arguably have the best offense and the best defensive
4.
player.
And they didn't make it to the semifinal.
Yeah, but is there any of the we did it last year. You know what I mean?
Don't care.
I agree. But
can I
4 top 10 draft picks?
And you
didn't make it to the semifinals.
The one that I thought had a bit of leg to make it to my list, but didn't, was Notre Dame. Because I
could see that. You can give me there.
Specifically because as Notre Dame, you have one job.
I think they got snubbed.
I do too.
You have one job to make the college football playoff, and that is beat the 3 to possibly 4 teams on your schedule who are actually formidable, who are actually very good football teams.
Beat 2 out of 4.
Because you know that resume at the end of the year is the only thing that gets you into the college football playoff. And you didn't do just that.
Notre Dame should have been in instead of Alabama.
And I would see that argument and I would say, yes, you are correct. But they weren't. And it's because of
I disagree. I
bad
wholeheartedly
losses.
disagree. And I think it's why they should be your honorable mention number 6, Dan, because you started the season 0-2.
Yeah.
And I don't care what the hell happens after your first 2 games. You start the season 0-2. You deserve 0 right to play for national championship.
I mean, not in a 12-team system, I don't think.
If you missed any of the show tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. Are you or maybe one of your loved ones facing litigation? You don't understand your rights? Maybe you don't understand your rights as a parent in a litigation situation. You need to sit down with Bob and his team. They're going to give you a free, no obligation legal consultation. They'll sit you down, explain your rights, walk you through what's going to happen in your big day in court, and get you ready to get in front of the judge. Call 402-522-6317 or stop over at williamslawllc.com tonight. For John Schreiner, Dan Campen, I've been Jimmy Allen. Happy anniversary, John Schreiner.
All I got was this T-shirt.